Hi there, this is Jack Downing in the second of our series of 5 with 4. Today I'm with Matt O'Hara. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jack. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. Uh, we are our series of 5 for 4 is 5 minutes with the 4 candidates that are endorsed by the Glenbrook 225 Caucus and by the teachers and the staff in the Glenbrooks, which are better known as the Glenbrook Education Association and the Glenbrook Education Staff Support Association, or GESSA for short. I have 3 questions for you, Matt. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a lifelong Glenview resident. I'm a lawyer and a business owner, and I'm retired now. And I have 3 kids the last one's a senior in high school, so I'm almost done with the high school age. I've got family in Glenview, though. There's a lot of O'Haras around. And my sister, her kids will be coming up, and my brother and his kids will be coming up. So I've got ties to the community still, or deep ties, I suppose.
Sounds like it. Tell me a little bit about something that you've been on the board. You've been on the board for 4 years, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Over the last 4 years, is there anything that comes to mind? Doesn't have to be the best, but something that comes to mind that you're, particularly proud of?
You know, the board's interesting because people really don't pay attention that much unless something's going wrong, which is fair enough. I understand completely. Sure. And so it's a little like the stuff people know about are the stuff that my first meeting, we have an issue with the principal at GBS. And that's my very first meeting as a board member, out of which comes the new principal, and people probably followed the whole Fagel saga, but that stuff makes the news. What's important to me, though, are the stuff we do to make it better for the kids. One of the things we did was a classroom initiative where we redid all the classrooms. Your kids won't come and tell you, or my kids wouldn't come and tell me what happened in school. You get a when they're in high school. But if you fix the lights and
I don't think that changes after high school.
Yeah, well, but fundamentally, if you do a lot of stuff to make the school better and easier to learn in, the kids won't tell your parents about that, but there's a lot of value to that. And we did not take loans out for this. We redid all the classrooms we changed the lighting, we changed the furniture, and now you're stuck with the size of the classrooms, and it didn't work perfectly because you're stuck with what you have at times. And it was a stretch for our staff too to reuse stuff, to learn stuff. But that was something I think got lost in the shuffle. We got cell phones out of the classrooms, which is huge. Again, your students are telling you about that. Health center is in GBS now. One of the things we had an issue with was you'd get into November and you'd have 40 kids who couldn't go to school because they didn't have their physical done. Now we can get those physicals done. We had people who had to make these calls every day because it's state requirements. So we have staff doing this busy work trying to get people to get their physicals, when now we could just get it done there, and the staff can come into there, the students can go there. It's been a very successful thing. Another thing we're doing is we're getting a solar power for the schools, that we're actually going to put batteries on the schools too, and we're going to sell the power back. We're going to make money on this deal. We're going to generate power over the long term, and frankly, power is one thing that's never going to go out of style. Unless our society has some really bad thing happen to you, you're going to need power. So yeah, we're going to need less taxes in some way because we're getting money another way. Those are huge, but it gets lost in, and it's right to get lost in some of the shuffle because some of our foibles that happened over the last 4 years were pretty major. So I just
Yeah, no, I think it's very common for bad news travels much faster and much longer than good news. That's always the way it goes. But I will validate what you said as a coach, because I've been coaching there for 7 years. We would have kids that couldn't play without a physical, and they'd miss practice or miss a game. And now we don't have that issue anymore. And it's better for the kids. It's better for us. And, a lot of these kids, you need translators to be able to talk to their parents, to be able to get them say your son or your daughter needs a physical, and now you don't have to have that. So anyway, that is a great initiative that the board has done. I know we're running short on time here, Matt, but maybe you could tell me quickly just a little bit about why you're running again.
Ultimately, I started to run because of 2020. I reevaluated what I was doing. My kids were growing up. They passed the Duber stage. I call that, you're the dad Uber, where you're driving them everywhere. They start to get their
Duper, yeah.
license, and you get your head up, and you're sort of looking around again because you're out of the, when they're going here and going there, and Glenview it's like Northbrook. It's a long way across, and you could drive 4 hours and never leave Glenview. And you've been to 3 soccer practices, a choir practice, and picked someone up from, tutoring. Once
sure.
you got past that, and I realized, man, I should be helping if I can. 2020 really made me evaluate. And so that's why I joined the board. And it hasn't always been easy. It hasn't been fun for sometimes, but it feels like we've accomplished stuff. And so that's why I'm running again. It felt like we have, and we're finally, it feels like, gone the right track. We're not talking about masks anymore, thank God. We're actually talking about education now. We're redoing our curriculum. We're equalizing it, so math is math. It shouldn't be different in the 2 schools. It shouldn't have different names in the 2 schools. You should know what you're taking. So that's why I'm here, is to finish what we're starting, I guess. It's not that you'll ever finish, but it feels like we're just on the cusp of getting stuff done now. So I'm excited.
Well, it was palpable. I could hear it in your voice. That's great. And regardless of the outcome of the election, I want to thank you for your last 4 years of volunteering. I know how much work that is. So that's not lost on me. But that was our 5 minutes with the 4. That's your candidate and current incumbent board member, Matt O'Hara. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. This is my YouTube debut, right?
That's right.
Take care.
Take care.